Hey everybody, what's going on? My name is Jesse, also known as Sublime, and today we are back with another spin and go video. Sadly, as you guys can see on the screen, we're only spinning for 200,000, but that is a-okay. 200,000 is better than zero, and we're hopefully going to take home that 200,000. We start off with 7 queen offsuit, and we're playing against 2 other Canadians, so this is a Canadian showdown here. Flop comes out on the board. It is queen 10, and I got a 3 of a kind. I'm thinking I'm deadly, I'm good, I'm ready to take this pot home, but he's checking it along the way, so I thought, I'll throw a small little bet of 75 and hopefully get a little value out of him. He ends up re-raising me up to 200. I gotta call it. I got 3 of a kind with the queens, and he shows that his kicker was better. He had a queen 9. I was a little upset, not gonna lie. I was a little tilted. I get 9-2, and I just gotta fold that away. I can't be playing with the 9 deuce, so gotta throw that away and let these other 2 Canadians kind of go at it. We then get a queen deuce. The queens have not been too kind to us this game. 5-14 DG ends up limping. I just end up checking it. I don't really got much to bet with. Flop comes out, queen 8-8. I said, there's no way I'm letting nothing happen to me. I go all in with my 260 and get both guys to fold here. We're golden, and we're going to move on to the next hand here. And like I said, guys, I am a little tilted at this point in the game. I'm still kind of pissed off about that trips loss there. 5-14 ends up raising at 50. I end up going all in. I got 4-3. At this point, I'm just hoping for the best. He shows he has ace-9. Luckily for us, 4-3 comes out on the flop. We got 2 pair, then a jack on the turn, and then a 5 on the river. We're golden for that. And we end up taking that pot home with 2 pair. And we end up doubling up our chips. So now we're sitting in a chip lead, and we got king 10 on the button. Flop comes out 5-10-8. We got a pair of 10s here. And I end up throwing out a bet for 50 chips. $50. Both guys fold, and we end up getting to take that pot home for a fairly decent price. I didn't have to bet too much to end up getting that pot home, so that's not too shabby. We end up getting a 4-5 here. I end up just checking it. The flop comes out 2-7-6. Then another 7. So if we get a 6, or if we get a 5, or if we get an 8 or 8 or a 3, we had a straight there, but straight didn't come out, so we didn't get to see one, and he ends up winning it with high card. We get king deuce here on the small blind. Buddy ends up going all in, and I just got to fold her away. At this point, I realized, as you guys can see, it's kind of a little frozen here, that there wasn't that check in the corner there, and then I realized it seemed laggy on my end, and I was trying to figure out why it was so laggy. We got rid of a 8 deuce, so, and you guys can see here, this is when the lag kind of started. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then I fixed it, and everything should look better now. I'm like, what? No way. It doesn't look better. I'm trying to figure it out. And there's this weird glitch going on that whenever I click my home button on Steam with my Valve Index controllers, the whole game freezes. So I've been trying to get that fixed since February. And nothing seems to just work. We didn't get pocket 6s here on the big blind. To our surprise, 5-14 ends up going all in. It's a cheap. Well, it's not cheap. We end up getting 6-6. And he shows he has ace-king. Flop comes out jack-5, queen. We're still golden here. The only outs he has is any ace, any king, or a 10. And lo and behold, a 10 shows up on the river, and he gets to take that pot home. I got a double up off of him. He gets a double up off of me. We immediately after that hand get pocket 2s. We're back down to 305 chips. I end up throwing my all-in chip. And nobody ends up calling me, and I get to take home all the blinds. And that's that. We We didn't get 4-6 here. I end up folding that away. I don't really want to play that hand, and I'll let these two guys kind of dwindle down the chips for each other so I can come in there with an all-in bet, get somebody a little bit on tilt, and hopefully take home a nice little pot. And then get 8 king here of spades on the big blind. Rockwood buddy ends up just limping in, and I raise it to 100. He calls it. The flop comes out ace, 10, deuce. We got two spades. I have a royal flush draw. I also do have a flush draw as well. I don't have a royal flush draw. Never mind. I thought I had king 10. My brain is going a little bit crazy, but we did have the nut flush draw, and that was too much for him, so he had to fold it away. They get 10-8 here on the small blind of clubs. Flop comes out 2-7-5. I end up throwing out a bet for 80 here. He calls my bet of 80. Another club ends up coming out on the river. We got a flush. I push all in. He shows me he only had 5-8. Luckily for us, we get another 100 off of him. And we're looking good again. We're at 625 chips, and we're looking quite good here. We get 9 deuce on the button, but we have to fold that away. 5-14 ends up going all in, but Buddy doesn't want to call that, and 5-14 ends up taking that whole pot home. We then get a queen 7 again. Queen 7 is our kryptonite. We haven't been doing too well with the queen 7 at all. Flop comes out 10-4 queen though. He checks. I don't want to waste this queen 7 again. I end up raising it minimum to 60. 5-14 ends up re-raising it to 135. Exactly the same thing that happened before. I call it 75. The 5 shows up. I'm putting him on a flush draw. That's what my thinking was, is that he had a flush draw. I end up calling it, and he shows he had queen 5, but another 10 shows up, and since we had the better kicker, we have the better 2 pair, we end up winning that pot, and we knock out 5-14, and now it's heads up between myself and Rockwood Buddy. I get ace queen here on the big blind, and I end up raising it up to 100, which was about 2 times the big blind, but he ends up just folding it away. You then get 3-10. Both just check it. I limp in, he checks it. I check it again. Another jack shows up. We got the 10 of hearts. There's 3 hearts on the board. The last card's a heart. I end up raising it minimum up to 60. I show him, hey, I had the 10 high flush. The 7 queen comes out to play yet again, and I don't want to risk going all in for it. No way, Jose, am I going all in with 7 queen again just to lose again. No way am I doing that. Goes all in again with 250. I'm trying to keep the small stack small, or the short stack short, so that I can come in there with something really good and then just take him out and not have to worry about doubling him up, because that's my main concern right now, is not doubling him up. I gotta be going into a hand very, very strong. We get 9 jack here on the small blind. We end up just limping in. Flop comes out 5, 8, 10. We're on a straight draw right now. I end up raising him up to 80. 80 proves too much for Rockwood Buddy, and he ends up folding it, and we get to take home his blinds. 4-6 suited ends up coming out. He goes all in. I don't want to... Oh, I do actually call him all in with the 4-6 suited. And he has jack 10. Flop comes out king 2-7 with 2 clubs. The ace shows up. We still have a good chance, but it proves too much. The 7 of diamonds comes out on the river, and we end up losing that, and we doubled them up. I don't remember why I called that. But then we end up getting a queen 10 here of hearts. Flop comes out queen 7 king. I end up re-raising it to 100. Or not re-raising, just raising it to 100. And it proves too much for him. We end up getting to take home that pot. We get pocket 4s here on the big blind. I end up re-raising it about 100. He calls it. The flop comes out 4, 5, 10. We got 3 of a kind. I end up raising about another 100, and I'm hoping he'll call, and he does call. We then get a 3 on the turn, so there is a, what is it called? There is a straight potential that he could have, but he's just calling me. He's not re-raising me. So I said, you know what? I'm going to put you all in. Let's get this over with. He ends up going all in, and he showed that he had 5-6, and we get to take home that pot with 3 of a kind, and we get to be the winners of this Spin and Go tournament. I want to thank you guys all for being here, being great people. I hope you guys all have a wonderful, fantastic day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Remember to subscribe, like the video if you haven't already, and join a Discord. There's lots of cool stuff going to be going on pretty soon in the Discord, so you don't want to miss out on it. So thanks again, everybody, and have a good one. Bye-bye now.